The words that we hear in today's gospel, we only hear twice in the lectionary cycle. The Solemnity of Christ the King in Cycle B, as we hear it today, and then each year on Good Friday, as we hear the full Passion account according to John. Today, we don't hear the full Passion account, but this one little section of the discourse with Pontius Pilate. And interestingly enough, today's passage cuts off a verse short of Pilate's response to what Jesus says. A three-word response so loaded with meaning. What is truth? Pilate asks in response to Jesus. And people throughout the centuries, whether just the faithful reading this passage or scholars, have gone round and around with their theories of the tone of these words of Pilate. Is he saying them arrogantly? Is he saying them cynically? Or is he saying them from a point of authentic bewilderment or questioning? What is truth? But in fact, I think Pilate represents the world in all three of those expressions. For of course, the mystery of this encounter is that while Jesus seems to be the one on trial, it is really Pilate, and by extension, all of us on trial. And so Pilate's response represents all the various ways in which fallen humanity responds to the invitation of truth. What is it? Is truth power? Or is it that there is no truth? Or most insidious of all, and perhaps most popularly of all, is truth what I say it is? History has seen this throughout all of time. And so in any day and age, there are different flavors of this. Today, there are ideologies that seek to redefine truth, but there have been in different forms throughout time. But all of them are rooted in pride. I am the arbiter of my own truth. We hear this now even in common expression. Speak your truth, my truth, this truth, that truth. And what are the words behind this relativistic sense of truth? God doesn't get to set the rules for me. I define what is true for me. And what ultimately are the words of pride under that? I am my own God. To all of this, all of these different points of view that Pilate can be seen to represent in response to Jesus here, Jesus responds, my kingdom is not here. Does that mean it's absent? His kingdom hasn't come yet? What does Jesus mean, my kingdom is not here? It's there, it's here, but not in a way that Pilate can understand. When Pilate looks upon Jesus examining the question, are you a king? He's looking for a crown. He's looking for armies, for nations with borders. To this, Jesus says, my kingdom is not here. You won't find any armies. You won't find it drawn on a map. Because the fact is, Jesus himself is the kingdom of God. The kingdom is the love of God revealed. Not a kingdom of conquest, but a kingdom freely given and to which we are freely and generously invited. There are no papers, no immigration status. It is the only true kingdom of open borders. Not in the sense that we can get in without measuring up, but you don't have to apply for citizenship in the kingdom of heaven. God freely extends it. Please accept citizenship in my kingdom. And therefore, this kingdom is incomprehensible by the world. Heaven and earth will pass away, but his word will not pass away. On this last Sunday in ordinary time, after this month in which we have been examining the end things, eternal things, or from our catechism, the capital letter 4 last things, death, judgment, heaven, and hell, which, by the way, you only get to escape one of those, so choose well. And it won't be death or judgment. We contemplate these things eternal at the end of the year, even as we look to what does not pass away, what does not end. Heaven and earth will pass away, but his word will not pass away. And so as we end the year proclaiming that Christ is King, the kingdom of God is here, and the kingdom of God is coming. Already, but not yet. The love of God revealed, the final culmination, not yet happened as we await his final coming. We proclaim Christ as King, both in a joyful way and one that is meant to scrutinize our hearts. Because we realize somewhere deep down, even as we proclaim Christ as King, that we're a little hypocritical in saying it. My lips say Christ is King. Do my actions and attitudes reflect the same? Who is my King really? Have I given the crown to a person, a politician, an athlete, a celebrity? Perhaps I've crowned a thing, a priority, my career, my hobbies, my obsessions, or a favorite pastime, we keep the crown and put it on our own heads. There are so many ways in which our sinful lives do not reflect a proclamation of Christ as King, and yet this Sunday, we encounter truth, the truth, that Christ is King, and our hearts will worship and acknowledge him as King, or we will die in our lie. What is truth? The truth is that Christ is coming. That is what the season of Advent is about, that we are about to celebrate. And we must make a choice. Who will we serve? The world? Ourselves? For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice. What is truth? As we stand on trial, we must answer this question. In a way, our catechumens and candidates today answer this question as they choose of their own volition and desire to go deeper into the process of continuing conversion and preparation for the Easter mysteries. Today, we've welcomed them as catechumens and candidates in our community and committed ourselves to journey with them. And together with them, we point to the truth. That truth that stares us in the face every time we enter a church. That Christ is King. That in the cross we see not only the sign of our salvation, but in that mysterious kingdom of God that is incomprehensible to the world, we see Jesus on the throne of his own choosing. And the ultimate gift of love in the kingdom of God, Christ the Son gives himself to us and invites us to the kingdom. This is why the cross is not just a symbol of redemption for us. It is a proclamation of the truth that the love of Jesus has conquered death. It's the same sign that Blessed Miguel Pro made as he was executed in the Cristeros War in Mexico in 1927. Instead of the death of a coward, as the anti-Catholic president wanted, he famously died with rosary in one hand, crucifix in the other, with arms outstretched in the form of the cross, and with the dying cry on his lips, "Viva Cristo Rey." And so today, brothers and sisters, we examine our hearts to reject false crowns and kings and proclaim anew to the world that we know what the truth is. The truth is that Jesus Christ is King. Viva Cristo Rey!